So this was a nice sample. I like the layout with the header at the top up here, you know, with the nice information up there. And then she has page numbers down here. I'll show you how to do the page numbers inside of InDesign, as well as how to make a master and deviate from the master. So this was a nice sample, I thought. Didn't we have another one? Where was I? There's that one. And then I think I had them somewhere around here. No, not that one. Oh, here they are. Okay, here's another sample. This one was quite colorful. Again, a nice cover design right here. Kind of relating the design of the cover to the project. So again, this is a website redesign here. And so she kind of gave us an overview right here of the project and the problem statement of why this project is being designed. She kind of had a nice kind of scale here of what I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking at the project overview, idea changes, research, design plan, font and color, persona, design samples, and marketing. I think those are kind of the things that you should be listing. I'd like to have seen the sample of the original website. I don't know. I guess this is here. Or no, this is a sample of another website. And here's another. So she did like 2 pages of research and included there. I'm not sure. She takes up a lot of space with just this whole kind of thing over here. It takes up a lot of space. So she has some 3, 4 research, 5 research. Then she has sketches. And again, the problem with these sketches is you can't really see them very well. They're very small and not a lot of contrast. I mean, they were nice sketches and they had some nice idea. Now she does talk about the sketches here, which was kind of nice. Talking about columns and layout, but again, it was very small and hard to see. And then she had a digital wireframe, which was kind of nice. That wasn't bad. And then font ideas and color ideas. And then personas. Don't use people like Mark Zuckerberg. I didn't like this. You should be, you know, it's kind of distracting, is what I'm trying to say. Don't use celebrities in your persona. But then her sample, you know, we talked a little bit about the design, and it was okay. So, and then how she would do the marketing, Yelp, Google AdWords, and coupons, I thought was an interesting idea. So any kind of marketing plans would be good. I don't remember this one. So this was like Craigslist. Everybody wants to redesign Craigslist. I don't know why. What, you guys don't like Craigslist or what?
I like it. Design is minimal. It's text-based.
Okay, I don't know. For some reason, a lot of my classes, they want to redesign Craigslist. I got like 4 or 5 proposals on to redesign Craigslist. They talk about the design is bland and outdated. Well, the beauty of Craigslist is it's very simple. And we've all learned it by now, so we don't have to teach ourselves how to use it, right? I don't know. I'm sure it could be used. It could be get an update. But the nice thing about Craigslist is you can get it locally, right? You can do local by city. So I don't know. This included some nice graphics. I'd like to have seen the colors being used, maybe a sample there. Yeah, I don't know. This was a kind of a difficult one. Okay, let's get into InDesign. I'll make a list of what I want you to include in your final project. I thought I already made one, but now that I was looking for it, I couldn't find it either. So, really want to... Oh, God, don't do that. Don't break my mouse again.
Mouse?
I didn't break it.
Do you want an InDesign file turned do you just want paper?
No, I want a PDF.
So you just want PDF turned in?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter to you if we do it in Design or Illustrator?
You can do it in any program you want, as long as I get a PDF that has all the pages together in one document. And it probably won't fit on Angel, so you'll have to bring it to class. Angel only lets you have 10 megabytes to upload. Okay, let me cover how to use InDesign right now, so you can think, now why use InDesign, you know? But the advantage of using InDesign is that you can make a nice layout, right? And you can have text that flows from one page to the other, and you can control that. You know, one of the things I don't like about Microsoft Word is the ability to control text is very difficult, especially the flow of text from one page to the other page in Word, right? In Word, it's just like painful. You know, I don't know. Illustrator, you can use multiple artboards, but that's kind of hard too. It's not like quite as fluid and flowing as InDesign is. And plus, like in Illustrator, multiple artboards, you really can't make a master and things like that. You can make a template, so you can do something like that in Illustrator, but not very well. Let's see. Are you guys ready to learn InDesign? I guess they're not. You guys ready? Okay. Here we go. So again, InDesign is probably, I would say, the most useful one for this. The version I'm using is InDesign CC 2014. The other nice thing about InDesign is you can make an EPUB right inside of InDesign, so you can publish it as an EPUB, and it can read in the iBooks, right? iBooks. We'll do that next semester in my other class. With this class. If you want to take a class again, I won't be here at Mission. You have to come West Valley. Illustrator is the funnest class. Okay. It's starting. It's starting. And I know my desktop's a little sloppy. You know, back in the early days, let's talk a little bit of history, because I love history of computer programs. Of course, you know, 10, 15 years ago, we really didn't use InDesign as much. We used something called QuarkXPress. You know, the advantage of QuarkXPress, and the reason why QuarkXPress was used so much, is it worked really well with the printing systems, right? With the printing presses and all the equipment inside a printing studio. But InDesign came along, and there used to be one before InDesign that we used to call, boy, there was a whole bunch. We can even go back in time even further. Back in the 1980s, I used to use a program called Ventura Publisher. Ventura Publisher, which was a kind of an InDesign kind of program to use to make you know, printed documents in the computer. And then we went from Ventura Publisher to PageMaker. So back in the 90s, there was like PageMaker and QuarkXPress. Those were the two main. And then around 2000, Adobe came out with InDesign. InDesign, the problem that you ran into a lot with InDesign is it didn't work as well with all the printing equipment that was there, but slowly Adobe took over. Now pretty much everybody uses InDesign, and nobody really uses QuarkXPress anymore. QuarkXPress was you know, they used to be like the bully on the block. You know what I mean? We're top dog. You have to pay me $5,000 for my software, because my software is the only software that works with the printers. They were like that, you know what I mean? So they would charge you a lot of money for their software because they were top dog, you know what I mean? And they could do that. But of course, InDesign came along and slowly ate away at their market share, and then started. All the printers started going digital then too, right? Instead of using offset lithography to print, they all went into, you know, using digital printing techniques, which of course InDesign is pretty much better probably at, is using digital printing techniques. And so that's why where we're at now is InDesign. I'm sure something else will come along, but you know, that's what you get for being a bully, I guess. You know, QuarkXPress. I swear it was like $5,000 for the software at one point. It was what they would do, and how they would do it is they would sell you the software for maybe $1,000, but all the extra plugins that you needed to be able to export your files properly to a certain printer. They were all these extra plugins, and they used to charge you all this extra money. Hey, you want that plugin for that Heidelberg press? That'll be another $2,000. You know, it's just like, you got to be kidding me. You know, it's like, and that's the way that, you know, that's the way they ran their business. So you know, people can learn from that. Guess we got Google now as the bully. So InDesign, how it works, of course, is you make a new file and make a new document. The first thing you want to do when you make a new document is decide what kind of pages you want. Do you want a single page, single page, single page, single page, or do you want a single page or facing pages, right? What a facing page would be, 2 pages next to each other, right? Well, since I'm making more of an Acrobat file, okay, that I don't want 2 pages facing each other. Unless you want, you can determine that, but I like to look at a single page at a time. Okay, single page at a time. So I'm going to turn facing pages off right here. Facing pages off right there. If you leave that on, again, you're going to see 2 pages next to each other in the program. I'm going to see 1 at a time. That's basically what you're going to see. Next, you can choose print, web, or digital publishing. Next semester we'll learn about web and digital publishing. Just this semester we'll just do print for right now. Again, you can designate the number of pages. I'm not going to do that now. You can make new pages in the program, and so you don't need to determine how many pages you need. Again, I'm turning facing pages off. Down here with the size, you can do your letter size, which would be 8.5 by 11 if you want. You saw some of the students, they made it in a landscape mode, which would be 11 by 8.5 this way, or do you want 11 by 8.5 that way? It's probably best to use 8.5 by 11 so that you can print it out nicely and put it together. I don't have a color printer here. I have one at West Valley that prints at 8.5 by 11 in color, but not here. I don't know what they have here. So you can determine you want this way or this way. Either way. A lot of students do the landscape because they want the long, which is fine. You can do a landscape. You want me to do landscape or portrait?
Yeah.
Which one?
Portrait.
Portrait? Okay. Columns are basically if you want to have columns in your document, right? If you do 2 columns, it's just going to put 2 columns in there. You don't need to determine that right now. You can either add that later or not use columns and just make your own. You have margins that go around the outside of a 1/2 inch margin. Usually when you print on a color printer or a laser printer, you're going to need at least a 1/4 inch margin around the outside because the printer doesn't always go to the edge of the paper. If the color went all the way to the edge of the paper, it'd be called a bleed, but a 1/2 inch is fine. It's a default, or you can do a 1/4 inch if you want. I'm going to leave it at the 1/2 inch right there, and I'm going to hit OK right now.
Change the point to inch.
Oh, if you don't want to deal with points and you want to deal with inches, it's underneath the preferences, and underneath preferences you can do the units and increments, and inside there you can choose inches and inches, or points right here, inches. Yeah, because you got that crazy points in there and you might not understand, so I tend to use inches. So I switch my version of InDesign to inches there. Yeah. It was under units and increments. Okay, in this case, the pop-up windows, if you first start the program, it's probably going to look like, how do I reset? There we go. It'll probably look like something like that. Now I have Folio Builder because I've been working on making, as you can see, I've been making all kinds of samples. Look at that. One of the things about InDesign is you can make what's called a folio, which is basically a digital version of what you do inside of InDesign and put it onto your cell phone or make an app. You can export out this as an app, or what's called a folio. And so I've made several of them. I've been working on it and trying several different types of folio. Mostly for Zircon, I've been trying to figure out how to make them a digital kind of catalog. And so we're making kind of a digital catalog that we can then put on a phone and people can look at all the different products on the phone. I don't know, it's just an idea. I haven't really gone through too much of that, but I've made lots of samples. So that's what I have up here first. But really I'm making a page. So the windows I tend to have up mostly would be the layers window. I like the layers because just so I can have layers, pages, layers, and that's about it for right now. Now, of course, you do everything in InDesign for in Pages. So the first thing you'll notice up here is something called, in the Pages, you see something called Master A. See it right here? Master A. And I'm going to save my file before I start, so in case I crash and I burn here. So let me just save my file here. Okay, so what you include on the master, okay, you just double click on it, it kind of opens the master. It's things that you would have on every page, right? Maybe you have a logo on every page, maybe you have a color at the top for maybe a title on every page, maybe you have a footer at the bottom. I'd like you to have your copyright information at the bottom, like your copyright and your name and the date and maybe a page number at the bottom. So let's go over that first. So I'm just going to put a color shape at the top of my document. To put a color shape at the top of my document, I'm going to use the rectangle tool right here. The rectangle tool is right there, so I'm going to kind of put that on the top. So every one of my pages is going to have like a little color box at the top. Remember not to go all the way to the edge. To color your box after you put it in, there is options at the top up here. One is for fill and one is for stroke. If I want a color box, I can click on there and choose a color that I want. That's pure cyan. Oof, that's pretty ugly. Pure cyan. Maybe I'm going to use the color picker. Give myself a nice light purple. Ooh, that looks good. Then if you don't want stroke, you can turn off your stroke right here by saying no. So again, once you draw a rectangle, you have color options here at the top. Color and a stroke. Stroke is the line that goes around there. So then I might import my logo in here. Again, I don't have many things right now, but I'm going to put in my logo of my my ceramics website. Remember, we were doing ceramics websites for a while. So my logos, I can use place, just like in Illustrator. You use place to put objects onto your screen. So to put my logo on there, I'm going to go under File, Place, and I'm going to find my logo, if I can find it. I think there it is. I saved it as a PNG. You can also bring a Photoshop file in and things like that. Oh, I had my object selected, so it automatically put it inside there. I didn't want to do that. Let me undo that. So if you have a box selected like that, and then you say File, Place, it thinks you want to place it into that box. So what I probably should have done is deselect first. Deselect, and then go under File, Place. And then choose my logo. That way it gives me a little box, see it? And then I can draw it. And I'm not going to draw it inside there. It still thinks I want to put it in there. I tend to draw things outside and then drag them into where I want them to be. Uh-oh. Still didn't work. Woof. Having problems here. There we go. So again, here's my logo at the top. Hopefully it's not too far to the edge that it gets cut off on a color printer. Something like that. At least a 1/4 inch. I probably should have made a 1/4 inch margin so I knew exactly what I was doing. So you can make a nice kind of logo at the top. Maybe your project, you might want to put a title up there or something like that. Then in the bottom, I'm going to put another graphic. I'm just going to put a little graphic along the bottom here. And again, color it. If you want, you don't have to use a color, a solid color. You can use a gradient if you want. There is a gradient option right here. And you can draw a gradient. So there is a gradient option here. I don't know. I'm just putting a gradient in just so I'll show you there's a gradient. Again, there's a gradient tool right here. And I'm going to turn my stroke off. So I have a nice little gradient at the bottom of my page. Maybe make it a little bigger. There we go. Next, I'm going to put my copyright information at the bottom of my page. So I'm going to go and use the text tool. Using the text tool, I can draw out a box. Draw out a box for some text. And I don't know how, what's the copyright symbol? Option 53? What is it? No. No, that was kind of, it's option 63? No. No. I can't remember. It might be under type, special characters, symbols, copyright symbol. There we go. Woohoo! Okay. Under type, special characters, copyright symbol. And then I'm going to put my name, and then the date. So you should have copyright symbol at the bottom of your document. I'm going to kind of throw it towards the bottom of my document, probably right there at the half-inch margin there. Kind of lining it up with this one over here. See? This might be, I have to bring that down just a little bit. Okay, so again, alignment's important. So again, I have my logo at the top. I got my copyright there. So let's talk about making the page number then, right? So every page I want to have page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and things like that. So I'm going to make another text box. Make another text box. And I'm going to type in the word page like that and hit the space bar. Now what I'm going to do after I type in the word page and hit the space bar, I'm going to tell InDesign that every time I make a page to put a number in there. Okay, to do that is underneath the same place where we got the copyright symbol. It's under type, insert special characters, markers. Markers is the one you want, and you want to use current page number. I'm going to use marker, current page number, and again it just says A right now because I'm in the master, right? I'm in the master. Oh, and I want to align my text to the right side. So how do I do that? Under paragraph, let me bring that up. Paragraph option. Under window type paragraph, you can align your text to the right side. That way it's over here. So it grows from the right left, right? Because when you get up to 10, it needs to move over a little bit more, maybe, right? Now it puts an A in there. The reason why it puts an A in there is because I'm in the master. I haven't really made a page yet. I'm in the master. So these are the things I would have on every page, right? So this is kind of like the master. The master. Okay, so let's talk about making a page. So it's kind of set the master the way I want it. You can make columns and do everything else you want if you want in your master. So once you're done with your master, you come over to where it says pages, and you'll notice it has an A right here. A master applied. This is my first page. If I double click on this number 1 right here, it doesn't look any different than the master because I haven't changed anything, but this is not the master, this is the first page. Notice, how do I know I'm in the first page? If I look at the page number towards the bottom, you notice it says page 1. Do you see that there? That's why. Are you guys getting cold? I'm sorry. It's so hard to control the air conditioning in this room. I don't know, this interface that is over here is very archaic. And I do not know how to change it. So I turned it down, I think, or turned it up, I think. I don't know. Okay. So I'm in page 1. So let's say in page 1 I want to make my project overview. I might put some text on there. I'm going to put a title up there, and I'm going to kind of draw a box, and I'm going to say project overview. Maybe changing the font so it's larger, and then maybe adding some eye candy in there, maybe changing the color. Let me zoom in. Oh, was that a stroke color I gave? I didn't want a stroke color. That was a stroke color. I don't want that. Oh, that was the color. Is that the color? Where's the font color? Oh, it's here. Give me a font color. There we go. No, that's right.
Are you like working on the master or the pages again?
I just look at the page number down here. See, it says page 1. If you click here, you go back to master. See here in the pages pop-up window, you have master here, and in this one, number 1 right here. See, page 1. You can call this page 1 if you want. So if you want to go back to the master, you click on here. Watch, if I go back to the master right now, my project over, this text will go away because it's not in the master. If I go back to here, it's gone. If I go here, it's back. Okay. So we have our project overview. Let's add a little line underneath there to give it some eye candy here. So it just has a little line underneath there. And maybe change that to be a little bit bigger. There we go. So we have a project overview. And then if I want, I could type up some text in there. Let's say you did your text inside of Microsoft Word. You could copy and paste into here. You can type in some text in here if you want. It'll automatically wrap when it gets to the end of the line. Boy, I never knew I could type this fast. I can't. If you want to put in images in again, like I said, you can go under Image Place. And I'm going to place a nice piece of pottery in here. Again, I didn't want to do that. Don't have something selected when you do the image place. So if you want, you can place, I'm going to place my image in there. Now, if you place an image in, you can line it up. There we go. So, all that's all good and fun. Okay, and then I can make another page if I want to make another page. Okay, before I make the second page though, I want to have kind of the title, this title right here, to be the same on the second page. So before I make my second, and you want this to be kind of aligned up too. So you want everything kind of to be similar from page to page. So probably the easiest thing to do to try and keep things consistent is if you copy and paste from one page to the other. So I want my text box to kind of start here. I want my title to be here and kind of in the same spot on my second page. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to copy, Command C here in this case. I'm going to make a new page by in the pages pop-up window. There's a new kind of next to the trash can down here. If I make a new page, it makes page 2. Notice it says page 2 down here. And to paste it, if you just hit paste right now, it's going to paste it in the center of the screen. We don't want to hit paste right now. We want to have it in the same location as it is from where I copied it. So to do that, I go under Edit, Paste and Place. Use the Paste and Place. By using the Paste and Place inside of InDesign, it'll paste it in the same location. There it is. And so if this was a project overview, then I'm going to say, how about we do project research? Oh, caps. I got my caps lock on. How about project research? And let's just say I have more text. I'm gonna make this text kind of long here. And then let me go steal some text from the internet. Oops. My Wikipedia. Let's go steal some text from. Oh gosh, don't crash on me.
Is it copy in position again? I'm sure.
Command C is copy,
Okay.
and then don't use paste. Command V. Use edit, paste, and place. So let's steal some ceramics text. Here we go. I'm gonna steal some text. Here we go. Steal some text. 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 There we go. Copy. Okay, so again, I'm gonna paste some text in here. So I have a lot of text. Notice how there's more text than in the box right here. See this little symbol at the bottom down here, the little red X? That means there's more text than fits inside the box. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the text from one page to the other. They call that run the text from one page, or thread the text. The word is thread. You want to thread the text from one page to the other. But before we do that, we want to integrate some graphics in my page, right? This is my research page. I'm going to put my research on here. So maybe I took some screen grabs of web pages, right? Maybe I took some screen grabs of web pages here. Let's steal some web pages. Here we go. We'll steal one from. We'll steal the Wikipedia page here. Let's steal the Wikipedia page. There we go. There's one. And let's steal another studio page. How about Higher Fire? It's a horrible website, and we will. Oh no, it's a beautiful website. Fabulous, wonderful. They'll kick me out. Okay. So I got two graphics I want to put in here. Again, probably the easiest way is to go and don't have the text selected. Deselect before you bring something in. Because every time you have something selected, it thinks you want to add. When you're using it, please add it to it. So I tend to not have it selected. Then I'm going to go under Edit. I'm going to go File, Place, and let me grab my first one. Here it is. And let me drag a little. I'm going to drag kind of second paragraph here. Drag a little box. And then let me deselect. I'm going to deselect, and then I'm going to go Edit, Place, and I'm going to grab my other one, and let me find a paragraph to wrap that around there. Let's kind of make it the same size. Boom. Okay, so I have two of them, but now of course they're covering the text. So what can I do? Well, I can wrap the text around the image. The word is wrap, right? So in this case, I can select my graphics, my two graphics that I have, select my two pictures that I have, and select my text. Okay, so select my two pictures and my text together using the Shift key to select both of them. And then the wrap option is up here towards the top. You got wrap around object, you got no text wrap. This one's a wrap around bounding box, wrap around object shape, and jump object. I'm just going to say wrap around bounding box. I think that's the one. Boom. So what that does then is it takes the text and puts it around the pictures that we have. Of course, there's some problems with that. One of them is the text is really jammed up against the edge, isn't it? So you might want to push the text away a little bit. There is a pop-up window for text wrap. It's underneath Window Text Wrap. It's under Window Text Wrap. And in that text wrap pop-up window, there's a way to push the things away from the edge, right? So if we see the problem that we're running into right now is, the text is jammed up against the edge here. So in the pop-up window for text wrap, I can increase the spacing around the page here. See how it pushed it over a little bit? And then the other thing it's kind of goofy is the way that the text is here. You might cheat a little bit, maybe put an extra space in there. I cheated a little bit, put an extra space in there so it pushed that line down. I tend not to like things that are, I don't like things that are one line like this. So I might move this one down a little bit to put a little bit more space in there. And there again, there's one line here. We don't want that one line there, so we might move it around. So move your text around so that it looks good in some sense. It's tough to have single words at the end of things and things like that. Alignment is very important to the quality of your proposal. Things that look good tend to be better, if that's a word. Is that a good word we can use? Things that look good tend to be better. How about that? So alignment, align the top of.
Can you show again how you?
Oh, the text wrap or the moving?
Yeah, text wrap. Yeah.
Okay. Let me undo. I'm gonna undo. Oh, I don't know. Hold on. I don't know how far back in time I can go. Where's the history? Is there a history in this program?
It's okay. You can just
Hmm?
just select both of them and then
I'm trying to go back in time here.
Command Z. Okay. We can,
Okay, so I have two images that are placed on there, right?
yeah.
So I have two images in my research. They're both placed on there. Hopefully they're lined up nice. Oh, God, this mouse. Hold on. So I got one. I'm going to select both images. Then I'm going to select the text. So using the Shift key, I click on both images as well as the text. And then at the option up here at the top, up here, there's this one called wraparound bounding box, wraparound object, jump object. I'm not sure. But I use this one. It says wrap around bounding box right here. Boom. And it should then wrap the text around what you have selected. Okay? Then to move it away from the edge is this one right here. You got edges. You can unlink these if you don't want, because what it's going to do is it's going to put space around top, left, right, and all that. If you want to do it only on the right side, you unlink it right here. This is unlink, and then I just want to push the text away from the right side. I can do that if I wanted to. That might be better like that. Don't know. Depends on how you want to do it. Okay? So it's a pop-up window for text wrap to adjust the margin.
How do you get a pop-up?
A window text wrap.
Oh.
Then of course we have our text is too big, right? Because remember our little plus down here, you got a little plus, so we want to run the text from one page to the next page. And you might want to adjust this page a little bit before you even do that. I'm going to move this up just a hair. I don't want that single line at the bottom there. Did you see that? I want to start that in the next page. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. You know, publishing is cheating a little bit. Sometimes you cheat as best you can. I don't know. I cheat. So then I click on my little plus right here, and notice how it gives you the text box right there. See that? So what I can do then is I can make my new page. Remember my new page? Boom. And then I could come over here, and I guess I should have put a guideline in there. Let me go back to this one. I'm going to put a guideline. A guideline is an invisible line. You put it up there in the ruler. So in the ruler up here, see my cursor in the ruler up there? I'm going to click in the ruler and drag down. This is a guideline so that I'm going to put it right at the top of this text box. So my text, I know where to put my second column of text, right? So I'm going to put a guide right there. See the guide right there? So then I'm going to go to my new page that I just made. Oh, my guideline's not there. We need to put the guideline in the master maybe. Jeez. Well, we can try and see. Where's the guideline at? It's at, what is this? It's at, I can copy the guideline, can I? Paste it. I copied and pasted the guideline. Somehow get the guideline from one page to the other. You probably put the guidelines in the master would be the best way to go. You know, put the guidelines that you want to place things because they're invisible. They only show up, you know, when you're doing anything. So on my second page, I have to go back to my second page, get my text box again. Again, I'm going to click right on that plus right there. Boom. Then I'm going to go to my new page. And then, oh, I didn't click on it right. Let me try that again. Click on. Did I get that? Oh, jeez, I clicked twice down there. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my new page, and I'm going to click. There we go. So my new box of text then should be here on the second page, and then so on and so on. So you can thread text throughout. And you know, when you're doing a big book or publishing something like that, you don't really need to do that. What you want to do is you can tell it to go from page to page to page to page without having to do that then manually. Since we're doing something small, I'm doing it manually, but you can set up a master that has where the text box is, and the text can flow from one page to the other without having to manually do it like I just did. But we're doing something small, and it didn't really matter. So again, now I have 1 page, I have 2 page, I have 3 page. Okay, so let's say I want to make a title to my document, right? I want to make a title because right now my document starting with this is my first page, but I want to make a cool title and I don't want it to be from the master. So you can make a new page from not the master, right? I'm going to make a new blank page is what I'm trying to say, a new blank page. So when you over here in the new page window here, instead of using it from the master, you can come over here to insert. I right click. Let me see here. Insert. Create new page. If I just hit that, it just makes a new page from the master. I don't want that. I want to how I do it is I right click here. I think you can go under layout and say insert page to. I don't know. Okay, again, in the pages pop-up window, I'm just right clicking here and saying insert pages. And it's going to come up with a message. I don't know how I got this window. Again, I right-clicked on the pages here in this blank area right here. It said insert pages. And I want to insert the page before page 1. So you got an option. Say insert pages, pages 1, before page 1. And it says from the master. No, I'm going to say not from the master. I'm going to say none. Again, how I got this window, insert pages, was I right-clicked in the pages window here and said insert pages. Then I said insert page before page 1, no master, and I'm going to hit OK, and it's a big blank page in the beginning. Here's the problem with that, though, is it recognizes this as a page number, I believe, and so this is page 1. Look at my page numbering. So this is now page 2, which is okay. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to force that to be a little different if you had to. But I know I've done that before where I forced it not to do the page numbering, but I can't remember right at this moment. But whatever. Here it is. You could do your make yourself a nice cover for your project, right? You can make a nice cover for your project. Maybe bring in some wonderful pictures. Yeah, there. Oh, look at that one. Hey, if only I was 30 again. Oh, look at that one. Oh, look at that one. There we go. Oh, look at that one. Make yourself a nice title. And for my project, I would probably list what my project title is. This is a website for Raskoff ceramics. And then and you might call it a proposal, design proposal. Maybe call it design proposal. And then maybe put who did it by, or whatever your company name is. So make a nice cover. You saw some of the samples. I don't know. You get the idea. But again, now I have first page, second page, third page, fourth page. So I mean, this program isn't that hard to use, but it's a lot. Huh?
I found the numbering section.
Oh, you figured out how to fix the numbering?
Yeah, you mouse over one of the pages and then the small pages and then right mouse click.
This?
No, number 1. Say you pick number 1, right mouse click, and
Uh-huh.
go to the numbering and section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Oh, that. Oh, too low.
Oh.
That one. And then start your page numbering at 2.
Start page numbering at 2?
Yeah.
No, that one says 3. Oh, I went to. What did I do wrong now? Start page numbering at
0.
0? Does that work? No.
I guess you mouse over on page 2 and then you start numbering at 1.
What was that? Okay, let me try again. So go to number 2.
Yeah.
It still says 3 now in there.
Start page number at 1.
Okay, that worked. So now this is page 1. This is page none. This is page 1, page 2, page 3. Beautiful. That's what I wanted. Okay, so you know, there's a lot of things you can do in here. If you want, if you're making a Acrobat, a PDF, you can make a hyperlink inside here if you want. So you can, I can draw a box out here and say, go check out more samples like that if you want. You can highlight your text that is here. You can go to your hyperlink option. Interactivity, hyperlinks, and I can type in a URL. Oh, I have to hit the plus button here. So we want to go www.google.com. Let's hit the plus button right here. New hyperlink. Yes. Didn't I say go to Google? Oh, check out more samples. Yes. Why is it doing this to me? Okay, so that can be a hyperlink now. So if you save this as an Acrobat file, right, Acrobat is totally interactive. So if you make a hyperlink, again, a hyperlink was located under, I don't know, Window, Interactivity, Hyperlinks. And so now if I am making this into Acrobat, you could person can click out on that and go somewhere. So let's talk about, let me pause this video before my computer crashes. Okay, so probably the best way to save your document is probably to save it as a Acrobat file. Now InDesign, of course, is made by Adobe, so it has, you know, all the Acrobat features. Some of the things you might consider doing when if your file is too big is compressing your JPEGs. One of the things about InDesign is when you bring in an image, it's using the original reference to the original file. So let's say you used a photo, you took a photo with your digital camera. My digital camera, I have a Nikon 320, whatever. It shoots pictures at 300 dpi. Each image it makes is like, you know, 70 megabytes, you know what I mean? And so I can bring them all into InDesign, but if I export out to Acrobat and make a PDF, that PDF is going to be huge. Okay, so one thing you might want to consider doing is recompressing your images when you're making an Acrobat file. So let me export out this one. Again, there's probably a easy preset right here under File, Adobe PDF Presets, and they have one that says high quality print. That sounds pretty good to me. I'm going to start with that. Let me give it a name. I'm going to hit save. So I'm going to say all pages as the range, all pages here. So this is a PDF option. There's a lot to this inside here. There's a lot of little options in here. The first one up here is the compatibility. Now, most people probably have a higher version. It doesn't really matter. What is the difference between the different versions is maybe some capabilities. They kind of go with the lowest common denominator, Acrobat 5, but you know, you could probably go all the way up to the top and still get away with sending this to somebody. I'm going to go with Acrobat 6. Using Adobe quality printing for desktop printers and proofers. Create PDF document opened with Acrobat and Acrobat Reader 5.0 and later. Yeah, that's fine. The compression is here under compression. How the compression works is you can tell it to compress images that are lower than, if they're above 300 dpi, to compress them down. Oh no, it's going to compress to 300 if they're above 450. So I'm not going to adjust this. My pictures aren't that very big, but what I'm trying to say is if you are having problems making an Acrobat file and it's too big, one of the things you can do is adjust the settings here for quality, and that will make your file size smaller. I often have people, making PDFs and they want to send a PDF through the email, right? And the PDF and the email systems, right? One of the biggest problems they have is they get 20 megabytes, right? Or something like that. So, usually the first thing I tell them is compress your images down to a lower quality and it'll make it smaller. Bleeds and marks, I'm not going to put any of those on there. Output, I don't really care. Advanced, I don't know what to do about that. Security, you can put a password on it so people have to use a password to open it. And then there's a summary. When you're all done, you hit export. There's overset text on these pages 3. Oh, I think there's more text here. It's saying that's okay. Okay, so here's my first page, second page, ooh, my logo doesn't look very good. Didn't compress that very well, did it? Uh-oh. I was trying to zoom and it was flipping. Yeah, well, this wasn't made to be over top of that. Here's my text wrapping. Looks pretty good. Uh-oh, I should have probably put some space above this one. And then my hyperlink. Oh, my hyperlink's not working, is it?
I think there's an option to export interactive.
Yeah, I might not have done that. But, I don't know. Do you think you could use InDesign now to try and make a proposal? It's pretty easy. It's going to be better than Microsoft Word. I don't know. So see if you can do that.